Hello guys, welcome back to this channel and thanks for viewing this video. Today we are going to design an accordion like the one you can see on the screen here. So when I click on an accordion item, you can see that the content is showing. So in fact, this video is the continuation of the previous video I made on how to design this nice header where we have a navbar built using Bootstrap 5 and then this slider built using our carousel. So I'm going to put a link in the description on this part of the website so that you will see the code that I wrote in order to have this header. So in today's video, we are simply going to be building this part. So we have this image, which is an SVG image, a text and the small button here, and also the accordion that we are going to be building. So now let's come to the coding part. So as you can see, this is how my project is structured. I have the CSS folder, fonts folder, images, JavaScript. And if I can take you up here in my HTML code, I have a link to the Bootstrap.css file, a link to my owl carousel.css, a link to animate.css for the animation, a link to my font awesome for the icons. And we're going to be using that in this video as well. And also a link to my style.css. Okay, that's where we're going to be writing our CSS property. And down here, we have all the JavaScript script. So if you go on the link to the previous video, you will actually see all of this. All right, so in this video, as I said, we are going to be working on this part of the website, which is this image portion and then the accordion. So first thing we are going to do is to create an HTML tag that is going to be a section tag. And in that section, we are going to give it a class. So I will simply say section. In this section, I'm going to add another class that will be container class. And I will add another class that will be role. And in this particular class, I am going to add another class that's going to be a column class. So I'm going to MD6. So this is going to create a class for me. So I'm simply going to create another column class. So that would also be MD6. All right. So I have the two columns. So in the first column here, I'm going to be putting my image and the text and the button. And in the second column, I will be putting the accordion and then the text up here. So that's it. So let's start with the image. So as for the image, what we're going to do is we will add an image tag, and that will be src, will be the source. And that's going to be the image. So let me add the source to the image. So I will say images. So this image is going to be an SVG image. So I'm going to choose section_1 here and I will save. So you can find SVG images on this website, svgsilh.com. Okay, so this is the image that I'm actually using. It's a public domain image, and this is going to be showing on my website. So let me come to my web project folder. I will open the index.html file in the browser. As you can see, the image is very big. So I need to fix the size of the image. So there is a predefined Bootstrap class that I can use in order to make my image fit the div tag. So I'm going to say image img fluid. Yeah, I think that's going to fix that. And when I save, okay, now the image is fitting my div tag. And I can also add a margin bottom to this image because I'm going to be adding some text after the image. So margin bottom added. So now it's time to add some image. So I'm going to open a paragraph tag. And inside, I will write some text. So let me say lorem. So this is just going to be some dummy text, 28, for example. And this will add some dummy text. I can add another paragraph tag. And inside this paragraph tag, I'm going to be adding a link. For now, I'm going to put that hashtag here. And this link is going to have a class. I will say button. So this is going to be a button. And I will say button primary. because on my website, I already have a class called button primary. So this particular link or this particular button is going to take all the properties from that button. And I'm going to say adapt a new pet now. So that's it. When I come back to my website and refresh, you can see what is happening. So one thing I can add now is going to be some margin bottom. Okay, in the paragraph here, I'm going to add a Bootstrap class, margin bottom. I'll say 4 as an example. So as you can see, so I can add some more text here. Lorem ipsum 10 again. Let me refresh. I think that's a little bit okay. All right. So now that's how the first column is looking like. So after I have done that, it's now time for me to start working on the accordion. So in the second column, I'm going to first of all add the heading, and I'm going to say types to rescue and, all right, adapt a pet, and I'm going to save. So this is going to be the heading of the accordion. So now if you want to get the accordion code from Bootstrap, all you have to do is to come on Bootstrap website. Okay, you will come on Bootstrap website here and you click on components, and the first link you will see is going to be the accordion link. So all you have to do is to scroll down, then you have the first code. This is going to give you the HTML or the Bootstrap code for the accordion. And so you can copy this code, or you can come down here, you're going to get a second code. But the difference here is that with code, it is adding another class, which is the accordion flash, which role is to remove the default background color, some borders, and some rounded corners to render accordions edge to edge with the parent component. So this second code is actually going to remove as it says, the background color, the default background color, the borders, and all of that. So that's what we're going to take. We're simply going to click on copy here and then come back to our website and we will paste the code in. So that's it. So let me come and save. So as soon as I save and come and refresh my website here, you will now see that we are having an accordion in our browser. All right, so in the original site here, we are having 7 accordion items. So I need to add these items because here we are only having three of them. So I will need to add them. I will simply copy the accordion item like this. I'll copy, I'll paste again, and then save. If I refresh here, now I'm having 7 accordion items. All right, I need to change, to edit, to customize this particular code. What I'm gonna do here, so the first one is okay. The second item here is okay too. So this is actually going to be the third one. So I'm going to say accordion item 3. In here, I will change the ID. So I'll say heading 3. This will be collab 3. This is actually going to be collab 3 again because that's the third item. And this will be 3 again. So this one will be 3, and that's it. So I'm going to do the same thing for this fourth item. So instead of 2, I'm going to write 4. Okay. Everywhere that is written 2, I will change it to 4. So that's what I'm going to do. And here will be 4. So for the fourth item, for the fifth, I will do the same thing. Instead of 2, I write 5. 5 here too. Area controls will also be collapse 5. This will be the 5 and 5. This will be the sixth item. I will say instead of 2, I will say 6. 6 here. This will be 6. 6 as well. 6. So finally, the last one will be 7. I need to change the target, will be 7 as well. The area control, I will say 7. And this will be 7 too. Okay. Now I'm just gonna cross check. I have 7 here. This one I'm having 6 everywhere in the sixth item. So for the fifth one, I'm having 5 everywhere as well. Up here, I'm having 4. Yeah, for the fourth item. So for the third item, I am having 3 everywhere as well. All right, let me come and refresh. So I'm having accordion item 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So when I click each item is opening accordingly. The next thing I'm going to do is going to be, I want to add some margin bottom between these accordion items. So I'm simply going to add a margin bottom class to each accordion item. So I'm going to say margin bottom b2 like this. So that's for the first one. For the second one, margin bottom 2. That's it. The third one, margin bottom 2. Margin bottom 2. So make sure that you are actually adding it on this div, this div class accordion item, and then you add your Bootstrap class, which is margin bottom 2. So I'm going to do it for all accordion items. Yes, and then I'm going to save. When I refresh here, I'm actually supposed to have some margin bottom. You know what I'm going to do? I'm also going to simply add some margin bottom to the accordion header, but I'm just going to say margin bottom 0 everywhere. Here too. And margin bottom 0. Well, one thing I can also do is that in the header, I will definitely add a margin bottom 2, and I'm going to give it the value of 5. All right, so now when I refresh, you can see that there is a margin separating the H2 element and then the accordion items. The next thing I'm going to do is, instead of writing accordion items here, I'm going to actually write some text. So because here we are saying steps to rescue and adopt a pet, so I'm just going to be writing some text that will be explaining the steps that you need to take when you want to adopt a pet. Here I'm say 2, so that will be fill form. For the third one, 3, I will say getting approved. The fourth one, 4, that will be being matched with a pet. The fifth one will be making your choice. The sixth step will be finalizing the process. And then the seventh step will be getting a certificate. So when I save, if I come back and refresh my web page, you can see that I'm having all the steps. All right. So now I want to put some space between this column and this ones. I need what actually can I do here? So let me come up here. So the first column is MD6, the second one is MD6. So for the second one, I'm gonna keep the same size, but as for this first column, instead of saying column MD6, I'm gonna say column MD5, and in here, I'm gonna add another column, and I'm going to say column MD1, and I'm going to leave it empty. So this is going to create some sort of space between, the image and then the accordion. Yeah, like this. As you can see, we're having that space here. All right, so that's it. So now we can also add some text. We can remove this text. But before I do that, let me first remove some text here, because I think I'm having too much text on the left. Yeah. Because I think 4 lines of text like this is okay. So now in my accordion items, I'm going to remove this text. I'm going to change it with lorem ipsum text, some dummy text. So I will do the same thing everywhere. So if you are using Visual Studio Code editor, all you have to write is lorem, and then you specify the number of words you want in your dummy text. For example, if I write 35 here, so I'm going to have a dummy text with 35 words. So this is actually going to save you a lot of time. So that, as I said, I'm going to do it like everywhere. And for the last one here, will be lorem 28 like this. All right, so now if I refresh, as you can see, I'm having some dummy text inside. Okay, so now we want to make sure that whenever we refresh our web page or we visit this web page for the first time, the first accordion item to be opened automatically. So how can we do that? So we need to come to the first accordion item. If you scroll up here, there is this area expanded. attribute. So all you have to do is to change this false into true like this. You also need to change this, this accordion collapse class. Okay, you have here, we are having div id flash collapse one, accordion class, accordion collapse, and you add another class which is show class. So when you save and come and refresh, now whenever you refresh, your first accordion items is going to open automatically. So see, when I close everything, but when I refresh, when it comes down here, it is opened, it is showing the content automatically. So that's actually what I wanted to show you. So now let's start with our CSS code. So in the CSS code, I'm simply going to write a comment just to signify that this is the CSS code for the accordion part. And as you can see here, there is no space between the slider and then the accordion and the image here. So we need to add the space. We are going to do that by styling our section class. Okay, there's the first class we added. Here we have the section class section. So that's what we're going to be styling. So if you followed the previous video, you will see that we already defined this class, all right? But for the purpose of this video, I removed that class, and then I'm now going to define it together with you here. So what we're going to add is simply going to be the pattern, and we will say pattern 7 EM 0 EM like this. Now when I save, if I refresh, now you can see that there is a pattern, like there is a space between the slider and then the rest of the content. I can also choose to style the button here. So as I said, we already styled our button. If you watched the previous video, we already styled the button. But now in this video, we are going to do that again because I removed that styling. So what we're going to do here is to say button, BTN like this, BTN primary. So I'm going to say color first will be white, border width, say 2 pixels, and then the background, say red. And I can also add the border color. That will be the same red color. Then the pattern will be 10 pixels and margin top will be 10 pixels. So I'm not going to add the radius because I think it will look better without the radius. So now this is how the button is being styled. Okay, so after styling the button, we are now going to start styling our accordion items. So if I come down here, so we are having our accordion items. So we have the class accordion item, and I'm going to pick that and start styling it. So that will say accordion item. So the font size will be, I will say 15 pixels, and I will want a border to be 1 pixel solid, and that will be gray like this. So as you can see, it's now having some border here. All right, so after that I need to style the accordion button. So I'm going to use this tag button to do that. So I'll say accordion item h2 button, because the button is contained inside my h2 tag. If you can see here, we first have the h2 and then we have the button tag. So I'll say display black, text align left, and text decoration maybe none. Then the color will be red. So I can say that the position is relative. Let me save this, come and refresh. So this is what is happening. Now I don't have the arrows anymore, but don't worry, I'm going to use the font awesome to place some arrow here. So let me first add some box shadow. So I will first say WebKit box shadow 0.3 pixels, 10 pixels, -2 pixels, RGBA. So that will be 0, 0, 0, 0.2. And I'll say that this is important. So to make sure that this particular property is enforced. Okay, so I will copy this, paste it here, And the other thing is I'm going to remove the WebKit, save, and I'm going to put my border radius 0 like this. Let me come back, refresh. So now you can see that we are having the box shadow. Okay. So now, as I was saying, we need to add some arrow icons on the accordion button. So what we can do is come back to our HTML file. Let us start with the first accordion item, where we're gonna add a span tag. And in that span tag, we will add a class. This class is going to be a font awesome class, and I'll say FA chevron down like this, and close the span tag. So we will copy this portion of code and paste it on the other accordion items. So we will do that for all the 7 accordion items, and finally to the 7th one. And then when we save, if we come back to our web page, you can see that we're having the icon here. So in the CSS, we're gonna write some properties that will take these icons to the right side of the box. So that's it. Let us come back to our CSS code. And so after we have done that, we need to work on the accordion item H2 button, and then the font awesome icon. Now here, what we're going to do, say position absolute right. So this is going to make sure that these arrow icons are placed on the right, and I'm simply going to say top 50%, and I'll say WebKit transform. That will be translate y minus 50%, and rotate minus 180 degrees. So I will copy this, paste it the first time. Instead of WebKit here, I'm going to write MS. I'll paste it the second time and simply write transform like this. I can also choose to add some transition. So that will be WebKit transition, maybe 0.3 seconds, all is. I'll copy and paste it. So here I will say transition, and I will say transition like this, and save. So now this is going to take these icons on the right side of the box. So that's it. The next styling properties we can add here will be accordion item H2 button, and I'll say hover. So that will be text decoration none. And I'm gonna also add the very same box shadow that we had here. So let me copy and paste it. If I come and refresh, okay. So what I'm gonna do next, I'm gonna add accordion item H2 button collapsed, and I'm simply say that the color will be black. This is going to change the color of my accordion button text. Yeah, so now everything is black here. So what I'm going to do is that I want to make sure that whenever I click on this accordion item, my accordion, this icon to change to actually, instead of being a chevron, facing up, I want it to be facing down, right? Let me show you this here. So as you can see, by default is facing, when it's closed, this icon is down. The font awesome icon or the arrow icon is facing down. When it is opened, it is facing up. So that's actually what I want to do here as well, because as you can see, it is by default facing up. Okay, so I want to change that. What I will do is I will say accordion item H2 button, and I'll say collapse. Then after I'll say FA, which is for the font awesome icon class. So I'll say right 20 pixels, the top 50%, and then I will say transform. Okay, so that will be WebKit transform translate y minus 50%, and then ms transform we translate minus 50% as well, and then transform will have the value of translate y will be equal to minus 50% as well. So this code is actually supposed to work. All right, so now as you can see, it's facing downward. All right. So when I click, when it's opened, the arrow is facing up. And when I close it, it's facing downward. All right. So that was it. What else can I work on? I can say that I want to work on this accordion item h2 button collapsed hover. So that will be text decoration none. And I want to add a box shadow. Let me come and refresh. So when I refresh like this, yeah, that's what is actually showing. Okay, so now you know what else I can add is I can actually work on the accordion body. So I'm going to say accordion item and accordion body, and then define the property. So the only property I'm going to give here will be the padding top of 20 pixels. Yeah, so now this is going to show that pattern. So now, you know, I want to add some color to this accordion. You see that when I'm opening this accordion, you know, the text here is blue and we are having a sort of background color here, and you know, it's not in sync with my theme, you know, the color that I'm having here. So I want a red color to actually be on my accordion item title whenever it is opened. As you can see here, when it's opened, it's red. When it's closed, it's black, but when I open it, it's red up here. So that's the same thing for all of these accordion items. So I want to do the same thing here. How should I do that? Because you know the accordion item is the styling is predefined in the Bootstrap file. You have to be a little bit careful in order to do that. So what I'm going to change here is simply going to be accordion button colon not, and inside the brackets I'm going to say collapse like this. So now I can define the color that I want. So you will see that if I say color here to be red and then come and refresh, so now you can see that the color is red. Now it's red everywhere whenever I open the accordion item. I can also choose to change the background color. As you can see, we are having like a bluish kind of background color. I can simply say that I want it to be white. So that will be background, and I'll say FFF like this. So this is going to be white. And then when I refresh, you can see that it's white. So just like what we have here. But I can also choose to change, because you can see that we're having some kind of border, you know, whenever it's opened, a bluish kind of border. What I can do is to say border none. Okay, now you can see that there seems to be no border at all. Okay, I can also add this last property, that will be accordion button focus, and I will simply say that the border color to be white. If I come here and refresh, you can see when I open, there is no border showing, and everything is looking the same like this web page we have in here. All right, so guys, that was it for this video, how you could actually add this section to the website we created in a previous video. And this section was about adding an accordion. You know, we added an image here first, and here we worked on the accordion. It had a lot of steps. So I hope this video was informative, and if you have any question, please feel free to ask, and I'm going to be more than willing to answer your question as soon as I can. So don't forget to like, to share, and to subscribe to this YouTube channel, and let's meet in the next video. Bye.